remember that sharing drinks from the same cup can transmit the virus. Hold on. Remember to protect the next person by using a flexed elbow when you sneeze. Captain Keepers, let's make COVID rules a part of our everyday lives. For us to stay safe and protect others, let us keep reminding each other everything the Ministry of Health tells us about COVID-19. Do it all. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. And avoid crowded places. You are Captain Keeper. Do your part to protect your family, friends, and the nation.
Good evening and welcome to channel Yemaswati News. My name is Yemaswati. Before we start with our news bulletin, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines this half an hour. The building at the ESWATINI constituency was burnt down last night. And students from the Southern African Nazarene University were protesting and demonstrating at the gates to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. And finally, the remains of Koko Nene of Nsuga were discovered today at Mfungula Mountain. Before we continue with our news bulletin, viewers at home, I would like to reiterate the message that we have just seen from the Ministry of Health, the National Disaster Management Agency, sponsored by UNICEF ESWATINI. This message encourages the Yemaswati to adhere to the basic protocols put in place to fight against the spread of COVID-19. Everyone is encouraged to keep their hands clean, wash them using running water and soap, or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Wear your mask and wear it properly, covering the mouth and the nose. Watch your social distancing and also avoid crowds. And now we get into the news in detail. The building at ESWATINI constituency was burnt down last night. This was discovered by one of the Bukopo members of the Nkundla this morning, who then notified the Member of Parliament. We have a report. The ESWATINI constituency building was burnt to ashes today. According to the Member of Parliament, Honorable Mduduzi Makakula, when they started their business day today, one of the Bukopo members of the Parliament called the Member of Parliament to notify him that he found the offices burnt to ashes. We conducted a telephonic interview with the Member of Parliament, and he stated that police are still investigating the matter. The ESWATINI constituency building is not the first one in the country, and it seems that it is becoming a norm to wake up to a burnt constituency building. I'm Yemaswati for channel Yemaswati News. Today, during the inquiry on the death of Thabani Nkomonye, yet another witness gave her testimony. Her name is Mage Makhanya, and she is one of the people who drove past the accident scene the night Nkomonye disappeared. She stated that she thought that accident scene had been a police roadblock, and therefore she did not pay any attention because she was stressed out herself. We have a report.
Today, when Thabani Nkomonye's inquest continued before the coroner, senior magistrate Nonhlanhla Dlamini appeared Mage Makhanya, who is a wife to Makhanya, who is said was the first one at the accident scene. Advocate Tsotsi Mabila asked as to what exactly happened on the day. That is when Mage Makhanya voiced out she is not sure as to what happened exactly because she was stressed out, thus did not give much attention to what exactly happened. Mage Makhanya stated she was stressed out because she had lost her items. Mage Makhanya also mentioned that when her husband was from the accident scene, she did not look, or rather her husband, Mr. Makhanya, did not look miserable or shocked, which contributed to her not caring much about what had happened. Another witness that appeared before the coroner is Mr. Makhanya, a brother to Mr. Makhanya, who stated that his brother told him about the accident and that the driver was not found. Advocate Mabila mentioned that he put it on Makhanya that his brother told him that he took the body, which with whosoever they were with and where they had put it. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nonhlanhla in Manzini.
The Ministry of Health today in the Department of the Voluntary Male Medical Circumcision today held a 2-day workshop for journalists whereby they are going to be sensitized on the issue of voluntary male medical circumcision. This workshop is going to be, or rather is currently taking place at the Happy Valley Hotel. The Ministry of Health under the Voluntary Medical Male Circumcision Department has officially opened a 2-day workshop for local journalists at the Happy Valley Hotel. Channel Yemaswati reporters conducted an interview with the communications officer of VMMC, Mr. Sabelo Mlambo, who stated that they found it important that they equip journalists in all the media houses in the kingdom on the importance of male circumcision and also on the benefits of it.
Kubaniketa nje sithombe ngalo hlelo lekusoka ukuthi kuhamba kanjani nalokuthi njenge stakeholder lengathi simgcoka lena sifuna kuhambisa lwadi kubantu sisebenzisa yona imedia so sekhanze kuhle ukuthi si program siba sicela imedia type ekhona lamuhla sesike stawu ibhunga lenzaba yekusoka nabo babe nesithombe lesikhanyako sasithatha noma ngabe ba khulumisa donatins abantu ekusoka but ekhulumisa from a point of kwati ukuthi kwendakalani ngalenza abantu ekusoka evela so kungako lamhla sithe asibe nemhlangano malanga lamabili naye imithi sekhona ke ukukhulumisa letindzaba nabo labanembuto khona sibhekile ukuthi babude ngoba labakuvile ngekusoka siyafuna kuva ukuthi
This workshop is attended by representatives of each media house that currently exists in the country, and it is going to come to an end tomorrow. I'm Kanyesile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Kimberly Mavuso Ezulwini. Women in Law in Southern Africa today was at Mandabeni Umphakathi talking to the women of the community on their campaign of encouraging and empowering women to realize their potential in leading roles. This is because many women are seen shying away from such responsibilities, and therefore Women in Law is going to move around the kingdom of ESWATINI in various rural communities doing and carrying out their campaign. Women in Law Southern Africa is currently on a campaign to equip women on leadership skills. Channel Yemaswati today caught up with them at Mandabeni area, where we conducted an interview with the director of the Women in Law in Southern Africa, who stated that they have taken on this campaign to ensure that women understand the opportunities that they have in leadership roles and also understand the responsibility that comes with it and the changes that they can make in order to bring development into their communities.
ebuholini siyati ukuthi bakhona nabomake labakhona labasetigabeni letithite emimangweni emakomidini asedamu emakomidini etikolwa ukhanze ukuthi mhlambe lo make kazange nje sekabe ngumholi ngaphambilini so sitococisana ke lokuthi yini tinfo letibamgcoka nangabe ke sowungenile waba labuholini njengamake so ngileto tinfo lesitotikhuluma sitocucudela nje bumgcoka bamake angena abasebuholini ngoba kakhulu inhlangano yaka Women in Law ize ingene kulendzaba lena indzaba yentfutfuko uma ngabe make angekho ebuholini kunabo babe kuphela kunetindzaba le umhlaba noma umango ungeke utitfole.
The director stated that they are still going to move around the Kingdom of Eswatini in various communities using a schedule that they are going to notify the nation on. I'm Kanyesile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Kimberly Mavuso Mandabeni. Students from the Southern African Nazarene University today were demonstrating outside the gates of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. They had gone to deliver a petition where their grievances include the fact that they still have not received their student allowances, which keep them going every month. We have a report. Students of the Southern African Nazarene University today were seen at the gates of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security where they were demanding allowances from the ministry. They stated that they haven't been receiving their personal allowances since the month of May, and Channel Yemaswati conducted an interview with Sibusiso Ace Kaseria, who stated that it is quite challenging for them to face their academic challenges head-on an empty stomach.
Lana silethwa simo sebafundi labalambile balambe kusukela ke beMay, June, July allowances sebafundi sola agate. Kukodvana ke lokho ukuthi kunalenye imali government lebeka ipromise ukuthi uyiniketa abafundi labo 950 baba 2 months. So up to this far ke le mali leyo sola ayiveli to most of our students le esikolweni. While ke sikile saba nesikhathi naye government sabachazela lokho ukuthi le mali lena labasiniketa yona abafundi ba depende kiyo and kiyo kuphela. So ngalesikhathi ngasaveli siyadideka lokuthi sesitayibhadala ngane rent sitakuthenga ngani kudla siqhubeka kanjani kufunza kuye kube ngcono kulesinye isikhathi sathi lokuthi okay cha abafuni ukusiniketa imali sibone ukuthi senda kanjani but nyalo since bakuthembisile ukuthi batasiniketa imali abasinikete yonke bafundi balambile abakhona ukufunda at the end of the day ngalelinye langa ngafuna ukuthi baphase noma ekupheleni kwale academic year abafundi ufuna ukuthi baphase.
Their demands today were that they get their notifications of their allowance money coming into their accounts today. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Kimberly Mavuso Mbabane.
Mani, kumbula kutsi kuchawulana nekutsinzana ungathelelana iCovid-19. Qaphela, kumbula kutsi kubambelana sinatfwa engilasini yinye nakho kungathelelana iCovid-19. Ungaqhubeki, kumbula kuvikela labaseceleni kwakho ngekutsindela ingoselo. Bagcini besive, asende kuhamba ngemigomo ekuvikela iCovid-19. Indlela lensha yethu sonke ekuphila kude sitigcine siphephile kanye nesive sonke asikhumbutane njalo ngalesikutshelwa litiko letempilo ngeCovid-19 asikwende konke gcoka sifonyo geza tandla ngensipho nemanti lahambako gcina umkhathi uphindze ugweme ticubu mgcini wesive ungapheli mandla iCovid ingakapheli.
Are you looking for the most convenient and reliable car parts in the Kingdom of Eswatini? Well, look no further, because Right Parts offers you services for all car models such as car batteries, engine oils, belts, filters, spanners, drum brakes, disc brakes, and many more at the comfort of your pocket. Find us in Babani Industrial Site opposite Paddle Beaters, or contact us on 2405-0166, or you can call 7613-6050. Choose right parts.
Basat Hardware, the father of hardwares in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We have treated timber, NC2F window frames, floor tiles, 20-liter PVA in all colors, 5,000-liter water tank, full and half security doors, and corrugated iron. We will not meet but beat any advertised price or written quote. Contact us on 2505-9581 or 2422-1328. Basat Hardware.
Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us. I would also like to take this opportunity and welcome all of our viewers who have just tuned in to channel Yemaswati News. And now we shall continue with our news bulletin. Today at Velezizweni, Gogo Nene, who had been reported missing since March, her remains were discovered by a Mr. Mkapi, who was fetching wood from the Mvungula mountain at Nsuga. He stated that his dog caught a whiff of a scent, and when they followed through, they found bones and the clothes she had been described to have been wearing the last time she was seen. We have a report. Gogo Nene was reported missing in March, and the community at Velezizweni came out in all their numbers searching for her. Today, Channel Yemaswati reporters were contacted that her remains were found on Fulunga Mountain. They were found by a certain Mr. Mkapi, who had gone to fetch wood with his dogs. It is stated that the dogs caught a whiff of a scent, and they followed off with that whiff only to find clothes and bones that looked like they belonged to a person. After careful observation, Mr. Mkapi remembered that these were the clothes that she was last seen wearing. At the time of compiling the reports, police officers were on the scene expressing their utmost appreciation to the Velezizweni community for working in unity in solving this case. We also conducted interviews with some of her relatives who stated that they are glad that her remains were found, but however they are also very concerned by the fact that some of her body parts were missing, including her jaw and her hand.
Anganake mfana ngoba bengibuqadlwanyana ebaba manje ke samangala ukuthi leto tinto tabe setshona phike nemhlathi bekude
kulahleka Gogo Nene mntwanami kungivisa abhlungu kakhulu ngange kuba lo muntu ebesakhulile kushoje ngathi besicisha kulingana kodwa lenzawo lesatholakala kuyo ingivisa abhlungu ukuthi wahamba kanjani aza yofika le ngoba leti ngomo takhe betiba khona la ceni kwelikhaya mfana vele kungivisa abhlungu vele uyakhombisa lokuthi wathathwa wawubeka
vele buhlungu kakhulu ukuthi lapho alebe enze khona akhe khona emntini wakhe ukuthi angabe sesoyalahleka futhi ngiva buhlungu kakhulu ukuthi uNkulunkulu akamphanga abantwana ngoba bebekane abantwana ngabe agendeki konke lokulokwendekile manje siyinsha sizabuka kakhulu
nemathamba khula bese ayashoda mina ngathi ukuthi nangabe ufile konke kutakutholakala nje kula kumkhono ubele kweja nje ube solo ugcokile kepha nje nasekulapha nengikholela ukuthi inje ayimudla mfuna sakafile lengwadiwe.
The remains were then taken by the police and they are going to be placed in a resting place by her family very soon. I'm Khanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News in the report compiled by Justice Lamini, Velezizweni. The Asian community seems to be divided into two. This follows that the Bangladeshi community under the Asian community in the Kingdom of Eswatini feels left out since there has been a new committee that has been established. They did say that they feel that all announcements pertaining anything that has to do with them should be publicized using local media. We have a report.
Following a matter that occurred at Nhlangano 2 years back, whereby an Indian man from Bangladesh was murdered because the Indians cannot see eye to eye concerning a committee. This has caused a division between the Indians in the kingdom. The others want all of the Indians to be in one platform. According to Shahadat Hussain, he stated that their ambassador visited them last week, but they were not told about it. Only those forming the committee knew, so they feel like they are left out.
I am not be going for any against any for enemy for anybody. I want to be full and fair. Things should be happen when consular or embassy comes. He must not sit in somebody's private property and say no, all Bangladeshi must come here. We are over more than 300 to 400 Bangladeshi which is living in this country. We got our duty to do also. Okay, we are coming from very small country, which is we got about 20 million people in that country. But you see, the country is very nice and peaceful, you see. So we want our ambassador also to do things also according to law and order, and do things also which is provide all Bangladeshi to be happy and to stay happy in this country. Because the things is happening now is not look nice, because ambassador comes, he came and he visits some people, he not visiting some people. We already complained to him, but that he is not even answering about that complaint, he is not answering about any questions. So this thing is going one-sided. So we don't want any one-sided history. The story must be open. When he coming to Swaziland, he must, there's our channel is, there's our Swazi channel, there's the Times of Swaziland, there's an Observer. He must put in the published that he's visiting on so and so date in the country, and he wants to.
Hussain further emphasized that they want everything to be free and done in good order and with a clear message. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Notlatwala in Manzini.
School property was damaged at Ngabaneni yesterday. This follows a protest that was held by the pupils of the school, and the Royal Eswatini Police Service officers had to be called to come and calm the situation down. We have a report.
The Ngabaneni school students yesterday were protesting, whereby they damaged the school property that includes desks and other items, including windows, and later went to a house where the chickens are kept. According to James Taylor, who is a community police, he stated that the students demanded he give them keys, and when he refused, they went to the tanks and caused more chaos.
Bantwana bebathelekile la bakhala ngekuthi abadli esikolweni babhadala imali atibola kunethi inkingo labathizwe yatona bathi ke lethi inkingo babhadala nemadata ekhathi manje inkingo abatholi base ke bavele benta kona ukuteleka ke bamoshile ke ngoba babulele imali nemafastela lapha office lemphathi baya naseholeni baphihlile amafastelo naselibrary babulala amafastelo babuya la egeyitini babasa umlilo bashisa ligeyiti
ukuphi wena lapho
nami bese ngiphephisa ligwebhiko lwami ngoba ngisithe ngiyakhiya la egeyitini bavele babasa lo mlilo bafuna netikhiya ngala nato itikhiya nase agriculture bebafuna ukukhipha inkukhu nabologwaja hayi ngala nato tikhiya ngathi tibotishela tikhiya kanti tikhona la kimi ngase ngiphumela ngaphandle kwegate ngathi vele nama ngiphephisa ugogo lami sale ngibukela
wabaleka
ngabaleka kwaze kodwa ngabalekela ikuthi sebangigcoba nangematshe
afikile emaphoyisa embubi
afikile emaphoyisa embubi nawo athi efika vele efika umbonakalo so sembili
baphi namhla
bantwana namuhla ke kutholakala ukuthi nakufika lamaphoyisa vele athi afaka lokuba hlakada baphuma babaleka baphuma nangeligate baphuma bafohla bagcwala iganga ke bahambe bashisa tonke letiganga bahambe bashisa tonke letiganga nababuya bafuna lo mphathi hayi emaphoyisa besakhona ke aphenza yabadunga ke khona lapho futhi babaleka lonke
babuyile namhla esikolweni
namhla esikolweni abekho.
The students are complaining about money that they have paid for cell phones. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nonhlanhla Twala in a report compiled by Justice Dlamini Ngcabaneni.
A family from Gakoza in Manzini is asking for help from the general public following a fire that burnt down their house. They are asking for assistance of any sort because they do not have anything with them currently. We have a report.
The house at Gakoza was burnt down. This house was where Magi Nkambule and her children were renting out. This happened last weekend. It is suspected that the fire was caused by a child that forgot her kangli. According to Magi Rato Nkambule, she stated that in the house there was a bed, about 46 of cement and other items. Magi Nkambule has requested for assistance from the public.
Siko ka bengicela nje ukuthi kulale lo mfana la kule nakuzami kulendlu wasuthi ke lo mfana mase kabhidlita lana besiqala la kunayiya lengenhla ngale mase kabhidlita la wathi angeke ngikukhiphe make Nkambule lo mfana wakho lana ngidamfaka la itinto takho temathulusi akhe lo mfana wathifakwa kasibanze lo mfana wangifakela ke lana walala nje lo mfana kuthi kusa kwangelisondvo kuqhamuka lomnye umkhulu yamemeta lana hey kuyasha la kuyasha lo mfana wakhishwa abalanga endasi lana nje lo mfana wakami mayibonga wakakhumalo wakhishwa nguye sicabanga ukuthi khohlwe ikhandlela nje ngithi ngizocela lisito Nkosi yami. Those
that can be able to assist can contact 7650-7760. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nonhlanhla Twala in a report compiled by Justice Dlamini in Manzini.
And with that, we have come to the inevitable end of our news bulletin. But before signing out, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines once again. The building at the Etvogotweni constituency was burnt down last night. And students from the Southern African Nazarene University were protesting and demonstrating at the gates to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. And finally, the remains of Koko Nene of Nsuga were discovered today at Mfungula Mountain. Thank you very much for staying with us. I do hope you have a good night and may God bless you.